Okay, so I love what you were saying about having that endpoint because, again, I think a lot of us wait for confirmation from somebody else or the universe in order to take action.
Mm,
But in my experience and with coaching clients, one of the key principles to manifestation and the laws of attraction is feeling the future as if it's already existed. So when you're feeling the future of your endpoint, like say, for example, your goal is I want to make 10K a month. What does that mean to you? Because it's not really about the number, right? It's about
mm,
the experience of what 10K can create in new possibilities. What does that mean? More time freedom. Does that mean you can travel? Does that mean being able to speak and travel the world? But I think for me, having that endpoint and then putting my shoes in the place of being
mm.
in that endpoint is like, okay, then we just reverse engineer from there. And then it makes
Yeah.
taking action so much more magical because you're no longer waiting and you're no longer getting in your own head. And so that conversation was like light bulb moment
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
for her and most of the clients that I work with because it's a new way of taking action in our business and implementing new things, right?
I just have to share an image that my friend sent me over the weekend that I saw as you were talking. So I'm just going to hold up my phone even though that's kind of gangster. Can you see this? It's a like this is in India. This is very Indian, this whole concept. So there's a line painted on the road with circles that's meant, I believe, to structure like please stand this far apart from each other. And the Indian crew that's hanging out over here has gathered to sit on the sidewalk, but they've put their shoes in the circles. So you literally just said like put your shoes where you want to be. And I as you said it, I was like, yeah, like this. And actually this is a really good metaphor for like what people do when they are half-assed doing the law of attraction work, right? They're like, yeah, I'll put my shoes there, but then I'll just go sit on the side and like hope that like this literally doesn't make any sense at all what's happening here. And that's, I think that's where people get confused. So everything that you're talking about is such a yes, and it happens throughout the process. So it happens when you're coming up with a desire. That's how you figure out where you want to put your shoes in the first place. Then it happens in how you think and the stories that you tell yourself, and you're deepening a relationship with that spot. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not just that you put your shoes there and then you go chill. It's that you go live there, you build a house there. You're like, this is where I'm fucking living. Like this place, what is it like here? It's beautiful here. I feel free here. I feel deeply empowered here. I make $10,000 a month. This is one of the actually, like, this will help so many people. If you can think about not just what it's like to make the 10,000 a month, but what it's like to spend it. Cause I guarantee that's what you're going to do. You will spend the money that comes in. It's completely a fantasy that the money will come in and it will just stock up in your bank account. Even if you're saving for retirement, I'm not saying that you can't do that, but mostly you're going to spend the money that comes in. And the bigger you build a business, as anyone who has a business knows, you're going to put money back into the business. And so it's like that's part of the cultivating a relationship with that future reality. Being thinking about how that person makes decisions. How does that person feel when they spend money? How does that person feel when they sell? How does that person feel as they see their business growing, their bank accounts growing, their ease growing, their relationships and impact growing? Like, what is that like in the body? And then, whatever it is that you find when you do that exercise, live that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, begin it now. You couldn't envision that version of yourself if it wasn't available now.
Right. As you're
So,
saying this, I'm just thinking about relationship. Like you're building this relationship with money. You're not just shoving it into a bank account and saying, all right, see you later while it
yeah.
grows. Like, I'm sorry, but that's boring. That's boring. What are you going to do with it? And who are the person that you become to nurture this relationship? with
Yeah.
money like you would a significant other. So
That's right.
I love that. And that picture with the shoes, girl.
Like this happens all the time. And it's this particular image, I think it's pretty specific to India, but the metaphor is relevant everywhere. It's like when you don't actually understand why you're doing what you're doing, it's not, you're going to miss important elements.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, well, again, your manuscript is amazing. It's so powerful. And I think it's something, it's kind of crazy because it's so simple. Like your methods are so simple. And so I would love our viewers to have because you have the exercise at the end of your chapter. And I think it would be a really fun way to leave this conversation so that people are taking action and they're on the road to hitting their financial goals today.
I agree.
Would you mind sharing with us?
Yeah. Well, and I just put another plug for the book that my chapter in particular, the entire thing is a 6-step framework. It's like a how-to manual of that chapter. So it's worth buying the book just to read that. Forget about all the other brilliant people who have contributed. I know most of them, they're amazing. So, but at the end, I suggest this exercise, which is meant to catalyze some new kinds of thinking. So you can just do this live right now, everyone. Write down your average monthly income and feel what that feels like. All the same questions I was just prompting you guys with in terms of thinking about your future self, you can do with this current self. Like feel what that number gives to you, what that number provides for you, how it limits you, whatever it is that comes up for you. Just be with the truth of what that is. This is building a relationship with money, right? You write it down, you look at the truth of what it is, you feel all the feelings that you feel about it. Let yourself know that. Then as an experiment, draw another 0 at the end of that number, whatever that number is. So if you wrote down 5,000, now it's 50,000. If you wrote down 50,000, now it's 500,000. You're 10xing your average monthly income in your imagination. And do the same thing. When I do this exercise with groups, I like to ask them what emotions come up when they see that new number. And we write all the words on a board. And generally, there's a very wide range. There's excitement, there's freedom, there's empowerment, but there's also anxiety, pressure, terror, impossibility. So whatever it is for you, as you look at that new number, feel that. Again, you're building a relationship. So that number may or may not be your new number. That may or may not be your desired destination. But it will give you information about what the sweet spot is. And my recommendation is that you choose a financial goal that feels incredibly exciting to you and also a little edgy, like it's a little scary. Not so scary that you feel like you have to close your eyes and vomit, but like scary enough that it's catalyzing some new energy in you. And then start to build a relationship with that number. Everything Megan just talked us through, I think, is exactly right. Like, who is the one who earns that every month? What kind of actions does she take? Whatever her action list is, that's your new action list. And get into action as you relate to that number, so that right, you're energetically relating, but you're also putting your feet where your shoes are. So good.
You gotta send me that picture.
Yeah, I will.
So good. So good. Oh, Jessie, thank you so much for all of your wisdom, for all of your nuggets of gold. I know people are probably thinking, how the heck can I find you? So where can people find you if they want to get a hold of you?
My favorite platforms right now are Instagram and YouTube. I'm Jessie Johnson Coaching on both of those platforms. I'm Jessie Johnson Coaching everywhere, but that's where we're like really lighting up the world. So JESSE Johnson Coaching. And if there's more, I mean, you can direct message me on Instagram, email my team, info@jessiejohnsoncoaching.com. We're very accessible. So let us know how we can help.
Love it. And you guys, do not forget to get your copy of the book, soul success, turning piles of shit into nuggets of gold. I promise you, these women will tug at your heartstrings. They will not disappoint you, and you will leave feeling so inspired. I know I definitely am. So thank you for all of the great work that you're doing in this world, Jessie. And until next time.
Beautiful. Thank you, Megan.
Mwah. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.